What's going on, guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Now look, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Chapter 74 and beyond of Boruto. We're going to be going into the weaknesses and limitations that were given to us or shown to us as of Boruto Chapter 74. And we're going to speculate a little bit here on ways to attack Ida. Ways to attack Damon, right? Now I want to put a precursor here before we go in, or a disclaimer or whatever, before I go into all the details of like how you could exploit these weaknesses that have been shown to us in Boruto Chapter 74. The only way you could successfully pull off an offensive attack against Ida and Damon is if you were able to, one, successfully execute some way to separate them, right? Separation is super important because if they're together, they're unstoppable, okay? So you'd have to figure out a way to separate Ida and Damon first. The second thing is you'd have to be able to coordinate an attack without the Senrigan spying on you. So you'd have to be able to communicate with all these different groups of people that can successfully launch an attack on Ida with that, like avoiding the lust ability and everything. And then you'd have to be able to do all that and plan it, execute it without the Senrigan ever being able to peep in and figure out what you're doing, okay? Because Ida in that Senrigan literally compromises everything. Like Shikamaru said, everything I'm saying is considered leaked. So there is no mission that he can give out to anyone in Konoha without Ida also knowing what it is. Which means if you can't figure out how to coordinate the attack and then how to separate the two of them, you'll never be able to attack them, okay? That's the first thing. Now here's the thing though. With the limitations and the weaknesses that we have discovered as of Chapter 74, if you can accomplish those two things, there are now ways you can attack them, okay? So, with Ida, let's just summarize Ida real quick. Her main thing, we already talked about the Senrigan. She can spy on everybody, so you won't be able to coordinate attacks, right? Her lust ability, her simp no jutsu, as I've been calling it, right? Her ability to enchant or charm people into falling in love with her is directly tied to eye contact. If you make eye contact with Ida, then you will fall in love with her, right? It's like instant, and it lasts forever, but it's simple as eye contact, okay? Now that limitation is small, but it's useful, because if that intel is shared amongst the crowd to the right people, you can coordinate a team that hasn't been interacted with Ida. We have players, all these players, right, have yet to directly interact with Ida, right? So they could successfully form some kind of offensive, right? Now, here's the thing. Fighters like Naruto, Kashin Koji, Guy, even Kiba, and Kakashi for that matter, all have a way to fight an opponent without relying on eyesight, alright? Now, if you eliminate eyesight, there's no chance for eye contact, which means you'd be able to talk to, interact with, or at least fight against Ida without eyesight, right? Like people like Naruto and Kashin Koji, they have Sage Mode, right? They're Sage users, okay? They can utilize Sage Mode to fight even with their eyes closed. We've seen Naruto fight inside the mouth of a toad, completely dark. We've seen Madara fight without eyes at all, right? He stole Hashirama's Sage Mode and then like went to kill Sasuke. Like that's how good of a fighter he was, that he could kill Sasuke in one shot with his eyes closed. Alright, now Sage Mode just gives you a ridiculous buff to your sensory capabilities, and it's like a second sight, okay? So using Sage Mode against Ida preemptively, like you need this intel. So all of these people would need the intel that Sarada and Shikadai have basically given to us by confirming that if you don't have a clean look at her, right? If you don't make eye contact with her, you won't fall in love with her, right? So like, if that information gets spread out to say Naruto, he could use Sage Mode to meet Ida, never have his eyes open, and he could probably hold a conversation with her and be like, welcome to the village and stuff, without compromising himself and becoming one of her love slaves. You know what I'm saying? Might Guy has famously created a technique or a fighting style developed literally to combat the Sharingan, where he can literally fight someone while avoiding eye contact the entire time. So like, this is crazy because Rock Lee literally leads a platoon of ninja who specialize in the 8 gates, right? So if they specialize in the 8 gates and they've been trained directly under Rock Lee and possibly even Might Guy, there might be a squad of ninja specifically tuned for fighting foes with ocular jutsu. I'm talking about like a whole squad of people who could use 8 gates and fight like Might Guy while avoiding eye contact. So there's a big chance that, like, you know what, Boruto never does anything big, but there's a good chance that people like that could go up against Ida again if they have the information ahead of time. They don't meet Ida, and when they do face off against her, they don't lock eyes with her. Then there's a fight, okay? But as long as you can separate her from Damon and coordinate that attack without her Senrigan knowing you're going to do that, then, like, you know, yeah, it's an offensive attack right there. Now, considering Ida's limitations, fighters like Kakashi and even Kiba could use that heightened sense of smell that they have to take advantage of it and eliminating sight from both them and Ida. Like, they could literally fight within a smoke screen. So given the right conditions and stuff, fighters like Kakashi and Kiba could even tango with Ida, right? Now, Ida says she has basic taijutsu. I don't know if that scales to like Chunin level taijutsu, Jonin level, or if she's over here like, yeah, I got Kage level, or like, oh, basic is like, you know, what Delta can do. Like, I'm basically, yeah, I can tango with KCM Naruto in a little bit. Like, that might be basic to her because we don't know what scale she's going off of. But at the end of the day, being able to launch attacks at her in general is an obstacle because most people just fall in love. But everyone I've listed so far, Naruto, Kashin Koji, Rock Lee, Might Guy, Shoot Kakashi, and Kiba, could potentially fight her in a 1v1 with no Damon, right? With access to this information, you know what I mean? But it would be something. Now, Damon's different. Damon is really different. Because Damon can reflect your intentions, you know? So Damon's out here like, I'm already the fastest and the strongest. But now I can literally reflect the thought of you attacking me back at you and make you harm yourself. Now, here's the thing. Fighters like Sasuke and Sarada, I feel like, are just built better to combat someone like Damon, right? Now, Damon's the wild card right now, okay? Not only is he the #1 fastest or the #1 strongest in the verse of Naruto, but now that Ida and Kawaki are together, he's also going to be acting more overly protective and stuff. He's literally locked in a house, or he's not locked in, but he's in a house with 2 Otsutskis that his sister can't charm. So he's literally the only thing keeping them in check. So he's on high alert, he's extra protective, and in some ways this makes him more unpredictable. However, I'm curious to see how Damon would handle a fight against somebody with the Sharingan, because we know Damon straight up said, yeah, I'm stronger than Jigen, Naruto and Sasuke would be no problem, but he's also like 10 or 8 years old or whatever, you know, he's really inexperienced, so he might be stronger than them, yes, but is he smarter than them in combat? I would definitely love to see how he would interact against someone like Sasuke, or even just Sarada for that matter, because I'm curious to see how his powers interact with the Sharingan powers like precognition and genjutsu and etc., right? Because fighters like Sasuke and Sarada, they're built better, they're better equipped to deal with something like that. Like, if not like 1v1, like if you would have to put them on a squad of people versus Damon, okay? Like, they would have to go jump Damon, but having an Uchiha there, watching everyone get their ass beat, figuring out how Damon moves and how he likes to fight, would be better, because then they'd be better equipped to handle that 1v1. So I definitely think Sasuke or Sarada going in with a squad of people that get completely wrecked and they get to watch that, they're better equipped, because, like, you know, catching someone off guard with that little speed blitz thing he likes to do is one thing. If you try to do that with somebody who has the Sharingan, you'll find it's very hard to do. And then on top of that, there's no info pointing into the direction that Damon has any genjutsu resistance. So the Sharingan could help in not only just reading Damon's movements and, like, you know, predicting how he'll attack and avoiding contact with him, but if you can put him in a genjutsu, Sasuke is like the master of like the simplest genjutsu. So like literally Damon will be like, if he's avoiding Damon, right, and he's like, oh wow, normally people aren't fast enough to avoid me, but your Sharingan lets you like be a step ahead or whatever, right? If Damon just avoids Sasuke and he's like, I'll just grab onto someone else, you know, I'll just grab onto anybody else and I'll reflect your attacks back at you, he might not even be able to grab another person, because if he's in a genjutsu, he could pick up a pillow or a rock or a stick and think it's a person, but it's really not. Like even in Sasuke's manga, the new Sasuke manga, we've seen him flex genjutsu in like every chapter so far. He made one dude think he was holding a hostage when he was really holding a watermelon. So like if Damon is susceptible to genjutsu, then this is something that could easily take his main power out of the game. And with the Sharingan precognition thing, if it literally scales and you give Sasuke or Sarada enough time to adapt to Damon, they could be one of the best combatants to go up against him. Where it's just like, it's just a mismatch. It's not like, oh, they directly scale to above Jigen now. It's just he's inexperienced. He fights the way he fights is too predictable, and it's easy for someone with a Sharingan to react to what Damon's doing, you know? So let me know what you guys are thinking, though. If we separate and find a way to coordinate an attack that we could launch against Ida and Damon, right? Do you think fighters like Naruto, Kashin Koji, Rock Lee, Might Guy, Kakashi, and even Kiba are some of our better bets to go up against Ida? And how do you think Damon's powers will interact with the Sharingan? Do you think his inexperience as a child will play a factor in his fight if he did go up against someone like Sasuke, or even Sarada for that matter? Because I do have thoughts and opinions on how Damon's character will carry out in the future of this arc, but that'll be left for some future material. And of course, we always have the outside factor of the guy who actually shut them down and put them in those frozen capsules to begin with, Amado. He's always someone who could handle the problem. He has a solution. He's just not, he's gonna let everyone else handle it. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get his hands dirty. So hit this video right here if you're trying to watch my latest Amado video. We talk about how he's the master of control. He's literally trying to hijack Kawaki's body, or you know, steal the Dragon Balls and get his wish. So let me know what you guys are thinking, though, about this, the whole Ida and Damon weakness thing. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.